Today, we're going to talk about the serve and attack. Let's break it down into 3 key phases: the serve, the recovery, and the footwork. First, the serving phase. You need to strengthen your awareness. After a long serve, you must be prepared for a rally, right? So why are you not recovering your ready position after a long serve? You serve the ball and just hope your opponent makes an error. Even if your opponent misses the return, you must always be in a state of readiness to attack. Prepare early. Don't wait to see the outcome before preparing your next shot. That's a mistake. After you serve, you must focus on a quick recovery. That's the first point. Second, your serve must have a clear purpose, like this short backspin serve. The most likely return will be a push. A high-level player might flick it. But if your opponent can flick, you should already have the tactical awareness to anticipate that. So after serving a backspin ball, you must be ready to loop the incoming push. After your serve, you must have a plan A and a plan B. You can't choose where they serve. You might be hoping for a forehand serve, but they'll just go to your backhand. The server is in control, not you. But with a serve and attack, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. If you're good at looping against backspin, use a spin, no spin, or side spin variation to set up your loop. If you're good with half-long balls, use a deceptive, short side spin topspin serve to set up a smash. If your rallying is strong, serve more to the backhand deep corner, then prepare to rally with varied placements. So, first and foremost, your serve must be highly intentional. Let's say after you serve, you want to attack backspin, attack topspin, rally, smash, or go wide. So, if you want to go wide, serve wide. Then your next attack goes wide too. Your serve must have a strong purpose. This is the second point. Third, the arc of your serve must not be too high. Many players try too hard for spin, which makes the serve arc too high. Even with a heavy chopping motion, it won't be that spinny, and your opponent can easily attack it. Conversely, even with no spin, if the serve is low over the net, your opponent will instinctively push it, giving them no time or space to attack you with power. As long as your opponent isn't attacking with full power, you have a chance to defend. So the third key point is to serve low. This is more important than spin or speed. Serve low for both long and short serves. As long as it's low, even with no spin, the return will be slower. If you serve high, they will attack you. You genuinely won't have time to react. If they catch you off guard with a quick attack, the point is over. Fourth, if your footwork is slow, don't serve to their forehand. If they push you wide, you'll never get there in time. So, if your footwork isn't great, avoid serving to wide angles, because they will return the ball just as wide. They'll test your forehand loop. If they see you can't loop where your footwork is slow, they'll exploit that spot repeatedly. Certain tactics are only suitable for players with a strong forehand or good rally game. If you serve wide to their backhand, it's very difficult for them to push the ball back at a wide angle, which opens up an attack for your forehand. If you serve wide to their backhand, the return won't be very wide, allowing you to step over and attack aggressively, creating a better opportunity. Serving short to the forehand isn't always the best option. If you try it and your opponent's control is strong, with sharp angles, you are now at a disadvantage in your own serve and attack sequence. Why would you stick with a tactic that's just creating problems for yourself? Unless they miss the serve outright, if they return it, there's an 80% chance you won't be able to reach the ball. Next, let's talk about recovery. Let me ask you a question. After a short serve, if your opponent pushes it back with backspin, should you stand closer or farther from the table? So, after serving backspin, knowing your opponent will likely push, you should position yourself slightly further back. Leave at least an arm's length of space. If you're too close, you can't back up. But if you're further away, you can always move in. And if I'm further back and they push at half long, I can move in and use their pace. But you cannot move backward effectively, you can't loop while hopping backward. Second, to lower your center of gravity, is it faster to drop from a straight-up posture or from a semi-squat? Obviously, it's the latter. So, the second point for a backspin serve is to lower your center of gravity immediately after contact. This allows you to sink into your stance quickly. If you stand up straight, you'll be too late and forced to jab at the ball with just your arm. Third, since your opponent might push to your forehand, middle, or backhand, your shoulders must not have the right shoulder forward after the serve. Many players finish their serve with their right shoulder forward, which completely jams their forehand stroke. After you serve, your shoulders shouldn't be parallel. You must maintain a position with your left shoulder slightly forward and your right shoulder back. This way, if you want to attack with your backhand, you can rotate your shoulders. If the ball is short, you can step in. You need to leave enough space for your forehand stroke. Many styles, especially penhold, are forehand dominant, so this is critical. You might be able to attack directly with your forehand. For balls in the middle, if your shoulders are open, it's very easy to attack, you just drop and drive through it. Many players don't realize this. After serving, their shoulders aren't open, making their movement clunky and preventing a full arm swing. If you can't swing your arm freely, you can't loop effectively. Although I'm mainly a backhand player, sometimes I serve a light backspin that, when pushed, becomes a perfect ball to finish in one shot. This is different from a heavy backspin serve, which is even difficult for your own backhand to lift and requires a strong forehand. So, the third point after serving is, your right shoulder must be behind your left, in an open position. It shouldn't be forward and blocking you. It should be slightly open, allowing you to cover the middle and your entire forehand side. Players with strong forehands, especially penholders, must pay close attention to their shoulder position. If you keep your shoulder open, your step-around forehand attack will be much more powerful and fluid, without any hesitation. You can go from backswing to contact instantly. So, after a backspin serve, right shoulder back, left shoulder forward, keep it open. Be ready to attack. For a backhand, rotate your shoulders. For a short ball, step in and rotate your body. The moment you finish your serve, you must be ready to attack, because you served short. If you choose to push back, that's a different story. So that's the third point, about the shoulders. The fourth point is about your recovery rhythm. If your center of gravity follows the ball as you recover, you'll be out of position, forcing you to take an extra step for a ball you should have been able to loop directly. If you follow the ball, you'll be jammed on shots to your middle backhand and forced to move for shots on both sides. You're just making it harder for yourself. You should be guarding your backhand half of the table, unless you anticipate a wide return to your forehand. So, after the serve, guard the half table, and only use a crossover step for balls to your wide forehand. Because after you attack with your forehand a couple of times, good opponents will start targeting your backhand corner. Your strength will quickly become your weakness. Also, my philosophy is to complete the serve fully, then recover, not to start recovering before the serve is finished. I always recover after the serve is complete, because I believe the quality of the serve itself is paramount. Think about it, looping while off balance versus looping from a stable, grounded stance, the quality is completely different. So, when you serve, you can do what I do. Recover after the ball leaves your racket. Let me show you an exaggerated version. Contact, then recover. This makes the transition smooth and more effective. So how can you recover faster? In my experience, after the serve, keep your left foot planted. Shift your weight with your right foot, and then pull your left foot back into position. That's how I recover. I don't hop back. And I don't walk back. I use a semicircular rotation of my center of gravity to get back, then plant my left foot back. I find this recovery method is, first, very stable, and second, it keeps my center of gravity level. Even if the return is topspin, I have more than enough time. For example, if I serve a side topspin, I have plenty of time for that ball. I'm completely ready and waiting for their shot. Join our membership to unlock daily exclusive shorts and discover the coach's secret tips and tricks on table tennis technique. You'll also get our weekly on-court coaching series. Silver members get even more and also unlock the exclusive weekly Coach's Corner series. Thank you for supporting the channel's growth.